Welcome to the video tutorial of the Valencia Lakes AV Booth touchscreen control system. To begin, please press the button in the middle of the screen. As you will see, it is now asking me whether or not you are sure to turn on the system. Here we're going to select yes. You may hear amplifiers and other components turning on, as it's also asking whether or not you would like to turn on either of the projectors. Your options are no projectors, all projectors, center projector, or side projector. Right now we're just going to go ahead and say all projectors. Then we have to wait for the entire system to turn on. Now that the system is on, we are at the main page where we can select the activity that we would like to partake in. We can either watch a Blu-ray, watch the hotwire cable box, select an auxiliary video input, or route audio to the AV mixing console. For right now, let's go ahead and select a Blu-ray. As I've selected the Blu-ray player has now been turned on. You can control all the parameters of the Blu-ray player with the following buttons. You do not need to have the Blu-ray remote control, as all of the main functions for the Blu-ray are right here. You can come through and adjust your volume up and down here, or from the front of the actual AV receiver, just below the touchscreen. You have a mute option. As you can see, it was muted. If I actually control the volume from the AV receiver, you will see the volume graph is reflected on this page as well. And you also have the ability to open and close the disc tray from that button right there. So you would open the tray, load your disc, close it, and move on. This also happens to be a smart Blu-ray player featuring Netflix, Hulu, Pandora, YouTube, so on and so forth. At this point, I would like to go back to the main activities page where we began in order to select a different activity. In this case, I would like to watch hotwire cable TV. I will hit the home button, and now I will select hotwire. The hotwire box has now been turned on, and it is displaying on the projector screens. This hotwire page is essentially your hotwire remote, and again, you have your main volume up and down right below. And additionally, we have a favorite channels page here. So besides your info guide, menu, on-demand, exit, DVR, so on and so forth, we have this nifty little button here for favorite channels. This is where we have pre-programmed certain channels to the box. So now, if we'd like to switch on CNN, all we have to do is simply tap the CNN logo, and channel 49 has now been selected for CNN. Otherwise, we can go to Fox News, and channel 467 has been selected for Fox News. Another convenient feature here is the ability to pick music. Just because I know everybody here is such a reggae fan, let's choose the reggae channel. That has now taken us to 561, and hopefully we hear some Bob Marley. Sounds like Bob Marley to me. Maybe let's go back to the 70s. Fabulous. That works great. If I'm done selecting my channel, I can close this screen by hitting the X. Now I can either return to the main home page via the Activities Home button there, or I can simply hit the back button. The difference is the back button will always take you back to the screen you were previously on. For several functions, you may want to plug in a laptop either at the stage or here in the booth. To do so, we would want to select aux video inputs. At this point, we have the option for the wireless HDMI, which is fixed to the podium. We have the booth HDMI, which is located on the front of the AV receiver just below the touchscreen. And we have the stage VGA, which is the old VGA connection that you guys have always had. However, at this point, that VGA connection is distributed to both projectors. So, let's say I want to use the booth HDMI. Here you will see that it's asking you to please plug your HDMI source into the input located on the front of the Denon receiver below. Say I'm done here, I want to go back to the activities page. Now, one of the other great features that we have included here is the ability to route audio to the AV mixer. For example, if I would like to play hotwire music on the audio console, so that we may have background music as people are entering and exiting from an event, we can simply hit the route to AVR mixer. This will turn on our Zone 2 send to the audio mixer, and we can select what we would like to send there. In this case, let's say hotwire. Now please realize all this does is simply switch the hotwire over to the AV console. From here, you may want to go back and actually get into the hotwire, but we don't want to turn that on any of the projectors. So we have this other button up in the upper left-hand corner that says Direct to Devices. This here will get you directly to the remote control page for any of the devices without running the macro to automatically turn everything on for you. In this case, we want to go to the hotwire box. Now we can come here and we can say, select Easy Listening. That might be a good choice for music in the background as events are letting in and out. At this point, I would want to go back to the actual audio console in order to turn up the faders for that send. Now that we're done in here, I can show you a few other features that we have. Either I can go back to this Direct to Devices page to get to the projectors page. In here we have a few options for the projectors. For example, I can switch one projector to view the VGA input from the stage, and the other projector to stay on the HDMI of every other source. Or I can tell the side projector to view the VGA as the other projector is viewing a different source. We can also turn on and off each projector, activate the shutter to black out the screen momentarily, or we can do none of these things and just go back. The other thing is, many of these pages have the small projector logo up in the upper right-hand corner. For example, if I am in the hotwire page, I can skip straight to the projectors page simply by tapping on that logo. Same page, different way of getting to it. If I go back, it brings me right back to the hotwire cable page. Let me go ahead and hit the Activities Home button. That is essentially how to control everything in this AV booth. Now that we are done, I would like to shut off the system. So we have these wonderful logos right down here for power. And here we have the option to turn off individual components. However, at this point, and in most cases, we would probably want to just turn off the entire system, at which point we will say, all off. Right now you may hear the amplifiers clicking off, along with the rest of the system. Now we are back to the home page. For additional help and assistance, you have the Professionally Installed Electronics logo down in the lower left-hand corner, where you will see our phone number, my email address, and a couple of other features. Just for fun, we at PI Electronics like to install the Magic 8-Ball on some of our touch panels. Again, this is just for fun, but you can click on this 8-ball, and now you can ask any random question. My question is everybody going to love this video tutorial? Reply hazy, try again. As you go through this, it'll continuously give you randomized answers. Don't count on it, so on and so forth. It can be a lot of fun in certain situations. That's what we call a bonus. Also, not that it has any real practical value, but just because we could, we're also able to load a link to our Facebook page. This may take a while as it needs to connect to the internet, and it's not actually a PC. But if you ever want to check up and see what PI Electronics has been doing lately, you can always come here to the Facebook page and see some of the latest photos that have been uploaded. There's a photo of our technician Jared installing a fisheye lens surveillance camera. We can go ahead and close the browser and go back to our main page.